So hello fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And I wanted to talk about my current nemesis, which happens to be sleep. And what I mean by that is that I've been trying to get a proper, ordinary, good night's sleep for quite some time now. In terms of, I can usually, I think, get to sleep okay, but what tends to happen these days is that sometime around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I end up waking up and I can't get back to sleep. So I'll talk some more about what kind of used to work and doesn't seem to be working anymore. Anyway, I'm Earthling 64 yada yada yada. What am I? I'm a guy, don't have kids or a wife. I was able to get a reasonably good education, I would say. An MBA, computer science degree, minor in math, and with a scholarship. It's good never to have to pay for stuff like that. I've traveled a bit, but unfortunately you still have to pay for that, even though some places are surprisingly cheap. Like the place I spent the night in Japan was about 10 US. It was a bunk bed, bunch of bunk beds in a room with a washer. Was not fancy. It did not get a whole bunch of star ratings, but it was okay. Met some interesting guys anyway. I've built some interesting desktop programs, even some web programs. Those are kind of cool for university that I went to school at, and as well as some government or governmental institutions. And yeah, that's me. So sleep, my nemesis. I haven't always had good night's sleep, but I think I might have some kind of a sleep apnea or so. And but the one thing is that it used to be a lot worse, because I remember when I was a lot bigger that I might get 13 hours of sleep and still wake up pretty tired. But I lost some weight and I moved. And every time you move, you look at life a little bit different. Maybe you're inspired to try something a little bit different, like get a pillow. And in my case, that helped a great deal. In the last couple of years, though, what happened is, I'm taking care of my uncle. He has dementia. And at one crazy point, in order to try to get around some problems he was having, I would get up in the middle of the night to go and change him, to make sure that when he woke up, it wouldn't be, an overabundance of urine all over the place. I didn't have, what do you call those things that you put over the entire mattress? I didn't have those yet, and didn't have bed liners yet, and I put newspapers underneath him, like pages from the newspaper. But that was really uncomfortable for him, and he'd pull them out from underneath him. Anyway, doing that did not help with my sleep. But let's get to last night, for example. Last night, what happened is at around 2, I figured, okay, I'll woke up anyway. All right, went to bed early, maybe at around 10:40, and I thought, all right, I'm gonna sleep until about 8, or about 7, sorry, and then I have to do some business at in the city, Earthling City. And but as I was up, I figured, let me check on my uncle, because if he has a wet brief, it's uncomfortable and he doesn't sleep. So I went and I checked on him, and especially as I got him to sleep, he should have had a pass. He should have had an experience of releasing his urine, but he didn't. So I knew he was going to be wet. So I went and I checked on him. Unfortunately, especially when I get up, it's hard to get back to sleep, but I would have been up regardless anyway, because, yeah, once I get up and my mind starts thinking, it's just, I feel the sleep just wither away, just melt from me, and I'm just completely awake. So I went and I changed him, and I think, as usual, he was wet, but as soon as I changed him, as usual, he went straight off to sleep. That's a testament to how uncomfortable I guess it must be to being in wet briefs. Funny enough, I was going to try it, do an experiment to see how it feels. I have been putting it off. I know it seems crazy, right? But yeah. Anyway, as usual, when I came back to bed, I couldn't fall asleep. That was nothing new, but I know that if I stay awake, even if I stay awake, but I stay in bed for the amount of time that I should, that when I get up, I'm still going to feel okay. When the world starts getting boring during the day, I'm probably going to feel sleepy. But at the same time, I still would be okay because, I don't know, for whatever reason, just being in bed, eyes closed, lying back, it kind of makes me feel better than if I just got up with 3-4 hours worth of sleep and started to do whatever. I would probably feel pretty bad if I did that. So I was just there trying to do my fake sleep thing. And as usual, as I was up, thoughts were racing through my head. Thoughts, for example, about what topics I might choose. And I don't even know that these are me trying to think up topics. It's just me thinking, and some of the thoughts that come up, I record them with a voice recording, voice to text on my phone. And yeah, they provide some really interesting material for me. One of which is that, let's say, for example, with respect to racism, black people are part of the racism for black people is that, hey, they're violent, they are not productive, etc. But then there's Jewish people who are, again, partly the reason why people are upset with Jewish people, apparently, or the prejudice against Jewish people is often spoken about as a result of their greed. And they usually perform well at education, they're usually bankers, etc. And now, even though they are not violent like black people, or they are not poor or not as industrious as the prejudicial stereotype of black people, people don't like them either. So that's like a topic that I was thinking about. But as I was there in my bed, I figured, as usual, let me try to experiment with different things. Let me get up, use the bathroom, see if that helps. Doesn't. Let me get up, have something to eat, see if that helps. Doesn't. And just trying a couple of things. And then one of my relatives called me, and when I answered the phone, spoke to them, I realized that it was at least 10, 20 minutes after the time that I thought that I was going to wake up at. So, I seem to have adjusted the temperature, you could say, and that seems to have helped. So I don't know if that is something that, well, I'll certainly try it again to see if it would help. It really wasn't, and it's a rough estimate, me suggesting that I adjusted the temperature. It's not like I adjusted a thermostat, but yeah, I would assume that what I did changed the temperature, and that seems to have helped. Of course, I also tend to fall asleep very close to around the time that I'm supposed to get up, so it could be that it's just a coincidence, and it's not really it's panacea to mean like a world class solution or something. Or does it just mean it's a solution? Well, I don't know if it's a solution, but like I said, I'm going to keep trying it, see if it works. But one of the things that changed for me maybe about a year ago, and I have to thank Joe Rogan for it. Maybe I'll do a video about it. I think I already have. But maybe I should make a video that thanks Joe Rogan, because I have a lot of videos that are on the opposite end where I find faults with Joe Rogan. I have criticism for some of his opinions. So maybe I should just do an explicit video about that. But the reason why I'm thanking him or thankful to him is that he had on a guest who talked about sleep and about how important it is with respect to making sure that your body it heals. I had a lot of problems not sleeping enough, thinking that my body would heal without getting a proper 8 hours worth of sleep. I would go to bed late, and I guess I would try to get as much sleep as I could by sleeping even later, which would not necessarily be a good thing for my relationship with some relatives, with some things that they thought that I should be doing and the time I should be getting up. But aside from that, really, it affected. I wanted to stay active to a certain degree, do a certain amount of exercise, and by not sleeping, it was affecting my recovery rate. I wasn't able to exercise every day, and that doesn't work. So, it got so bad that I had to stop exercising altogether. And when I did start exercising again, rather than fix my sleep, what I did was I just reduced the frequency of my exercise. So I never really grasped fully the importance of exercise until I listened to this expert on Joe Rogan's program. And I really would have hoped that he would have people like that as frequently as possible. I don't hate the MMA fighters, it's a business, and I don't really feel that I should give too much attention to a business, whether it's soccer or American football or baseball or anything too much. I don't feel that I should. I guess I like tennis, and there I didn't really think about it like that, but I have recently started to think about it like that. And anyway, sleep. hopefully this temperature thing is something that the expert had predicted would be helpful. So I'm hoping, I didn't think that I could do so much or should or needed to. I thought it might be a problem in me outside of that. So I will try that and see if it works. And I guess if I hadn't woken up at this time, I wouldn't have known that it works. So I was pretty sound out asleep. I don't know when I would have woken up if they hadn't called me. Anyway, that's it for me. So feel free to like, subscribe, share. What's the other one? Like, subscribe, share, comment, dislike, or none of those. But please use your judgment and hopefully give some feedback that you would like to get. And maybe I should talk about that if this were your piece. Have a good one. Peace.